My name is Holly Henderson. I am chairperson of America 250 Committee and chaplain for George Taylor Chapter National Society Daughters of American Revolution. Today is a profoundly important day in American history. July 8, 2026 marks exactly 250 years since the Declaration of Independence was first read aloud to the people go down here in Trenton and here in Easton, Pennsylvania. Okay, we got music in the background. On this very ground, on this very day, Robert Weaver stood before the citizens of Easton and delivered the words that would forever alter the course of human liberty. His voice carried the Declaration's bold message of independence, courage, and conviction, a message that ignited the spirit of a new nation. As daughters of the American Revolution, we gather today not only to commemorate that historic reading, but to pay tribute to the men and women who sacrificed and made it possible. We honor the founding fathers who dared to envision a free republic. We honor the patriots who lived and pledged their life, their fortune, and their sacred honor. We honor the Continental Army heroes, ordinary citizens who became extraordinary soldiers, standing against impossible odds so that future generations might live in freedom. We stand here not only as admirers of their courage, but as their direct descendants. Their bloodlines run through our families, their legacy lives in our hearts, and their devotion to liberty is the very foundation of our mission as daughters of the American Revolution. And remembering important moments as this, we reaffirm our commitment to historic preservation, education, and patriotism, the guiding principles of our society. This is more than an anniversary. It is a living reminder that the story of America began with brave voices raised in hope, including one raised right here in Easton. May we continue to illuminate their legacy, honor their sacrifice, and carry forward the spirit of 1776 pride. Before reading the Declaration of Independence, we bow our heads in silence to remember our chapter member, Barbara Koseski, who passed away this year. She was a descendant of Robert Weaver, who read the Declaration of Independence on this very spot 250 years ago today. For an equal station to which laws of nature and nature's God entitle them a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them for light and transient causes.
He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens, taken captive on the high seas, to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sections, and conditions.
With their
Therefore, representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, of right, ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And with the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
The Declaration of Independence in Easton. The first proclamation of the American Declaration of Independence took place on the courthouse steps in this circle in Easton at 12 o'clock noon on July 8, 1776, simultaneously with similar proclamations at that appointed hour in Philadelphia and in Trenton, New Jersey. After adopting the Declaration in the late afternoon of July 4th, Congress ordered copies to be printed and distributed to the several colonies for public readings. The readings in Easton, Philadelphia, and Trenton were the first to take place. The July 11, 1776 edition of the Pennsylvania Evening Post described the action in Easton as follows. This day, the Declaration of Independence was received here and proclaimed in the following order. The Colonel and all other field officers of the 1st Battalion repaired to the courthouse, the light infantry company marching there with drums beating, fifes playing, and the standard, the device for which is the 13 United Colonies, which was ordered to be displayed, and after that the Declaration was read aloud to a great number of spectators, who gave their hearty assent with 3 loud huzzas, and cried out, "May God long preserve and unite the free and independent states of America." A revolutionary flag of stars and stripes, which is preserved on display in the Easton Library, is believed to be the oldest existing example of this original Easton flag. The flag in the library was presented to the Easton troops as they left for duty in the War of 1812. Northampton County's Liberty Bell, which was rung along with the proclamation on July 8, 1776, is on display in the Northampton County Courthouse.